Good evening. Today is Saturday, April 18th, and we in the United States can rest easily tonight knowing that the state of our nation is in good hands. No, the best hands. Tremendous hands. Big hands, bigger than most. The current wartime President Donald J. Trump released a roadmap Thursday to assist governors in recovering from the economic pain caused by the COVID-19 virus. His plan? You do it.
I don't really want to do the work today. I don't really want to do the work today.
The plan is to be played out in 3 phases. One phase is to continue the social distancing as things have been going. And yeah, absolutely, this sucks. My wife is working from a bedroom upstairs. My daughter's being educated from a English pig. And I'm so bored I'm planting grass seeds 1 seed at a time. Phase 2 is the same thing. Keep social distancing at a maximum, keep gatherings less than 50 people, and of course, take precautionary measures. Travel can go on whenever your governor decides it can. Phase 3 encourages a hollow hope of returning to normalcy, with a focus on identification and isolation of any new infections. The guidelines recommend each state give about 14 days per phase before moving on to the next stage. Both Republican and Democratic governors are mostly on board with these new guidelines. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's already at the front of the headlines due to his spouts with President Trump back and forth on how he's handling the New York outbreaks, he did not entirely agree with the sentiment of "you're going to call your own shots." Governor Cuomo feels that the federal response to leave the states to their own in regards to how and when to open up is agreeable and constitutionally guaranteed. However, the lack of federal funding and support for all 50 states is going to make that very difficult.
The federal government cannot wipe their hands of this and say, oh, the states are responsible for testing. We cannot do it.
At face value, the president has everything under control. Some states will potentially be reopening within the next week or so, while other states have extended or are preparing to extend their lockdowns and restrictions for another month. Here in Wisconsin, we just got ordered that we're going to be in the stay-at-home thing until May 26th. Not 24 hours after the guidelines have been released to the governors, President Trump took to Twitter backing protesters breaking his own guidelines he just released to the governors. His tweets called to liberate these states from the stay-at-home orders, I believe. This comes after a week-long power struggle with the nation's governors, with an apparent endorsement of protesters who've defied the gubernatorial orders based on reports from public health experts to remain indoors and keep all non-essential businesses closed. Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia were the topics of these tweets specifically, drawing less than positive responses from these states' governors. President Trump contradicts himself after he declared what he's now promoting is wrong and that states should handle the reopenings with a 14-day phase-by-phase plan. Some see the limitations on travel and general commerce as a means to an end and to help #stop the spread, while others see these closures and civil demands as overreaching and illogical, primarily concern the constitutional rights of Americans as well as the livelihoods are at risk. Both arguments are absolutely sound. One hand, you have people terrified by the mass media from an invisible enemy, and we're at war with the COVID-19 with our wartime president, and they simply wish to abide by what the state officials and the globally recognized medical professionals suggest to prevent the spread. On the other hand, folks are broke. Living paycheck to paycheck is hard enough as it is, and now the people who are working can't work, and the closures and stay-at-home orders are extending in some states. Folks, it's a nightmare. Either this virus is as bad as what they're telling us it is, or we're being baited into some sort of situation that we're not going to be able to get out of peacefully. These protests are absolutely the correct way to go about showing disapproval to the government. On the other hand, during a global pandemic, if the death rates are continuing to climb, as some models are predicting, some stations are suggesting, some doctors are saying it is, not all, mind you, but some, then these protests are simply a catalyst to help further spread the infection. I don't know what the right answer is. I do know that my family and I have been staying at home. My wife is fortunate enough to be able to work full-time still, and I'm at home with my daughter, doing my best, as I'm sure millions of other people are right now. It's not fun, and yes, there is this line being drawn in the sand that keeps being erased and moved up a little bit. It is important. It is absolutely important that we pay attention to what is being taken away not necessarily why, but what is being taken away. And do you really think that we're going to be able to get it back? Until next time, that's my take. Really appreciate your support on the video. If you head over to youtube.com and search for That's Our Take, it'd be awesome if you gave us a little subscription and hit the bell for when we go live. We live stream every now and then. We're also on facebook.com/That's Our Take. We post every now and then as much as we can. But now, since we have nothing better to do but stay at home and make fun videos online, there's probably going to be more. Anyways, take care and be safe.